State investigators say a worn-out brake that was poorly maintained is to blame for an elevator accident that crushed a John Peter Smith Hospital nurse. Carren Stratford suffered serious and life-altering injuries in the January incident at JPS. The Texas agency that oversees elevator safety found a lack of maintenance on that elevator. Fox 4's Blake Hansen at JPS with more on that new information. Blake.
Yes, Steve and Heather, in the wake of this report, the State Department of Licensing and Regulation today put out a statewide alert. It is a reminder to building owners and elevator contractors to routinely check elevators that have the same type of brake as the one on elevator 29 here at JPS. Newly released videos show state inspectors getting their first look at the elevator bank where JPS Hospital nurse Carren Stratford's life was changed forever. 3 days after the January 20th incident, the elevator is still in the spot between the 10th and 11th floors where Stratford was crushed after the hospital says she stepped on the elevator and it continued to rise. A JPS official recalls what she was told about the rescue.
They have somebody up here pushing the person down and somebody downstairs pulling the person out.
During the inspection, a mechanic manually moves the elevator.
There you go.
The state report notes that should not have worked since the brakes should have been set.
It shouldn't be turning. It's bottomed out in the pin.
Mechanics took apart the brake assembly. State inspectors found signs of excessive wear, which illustrated a lack of routine maintenance and equipment checks, ultimately determining the incident was caused by brake failure. Attorney Frank Branson represents Carren Stratford.
The state report is another piece of the puzzle we've been looking at, and it's really consistent with the evidence we've seen so far as to what caused Ms. Stratford's injuries.
Both Branson and JPS Hospital CEO Robert Early have criticized ThyssenKrupp Elevator, the vendor JPS contracted with to take care of the elevators at the time of the incident. ThyssenKrupp has shot back, releasing a letter before the incident warning against JPS employees resetting the elevator. Several weeks into a war of words between the two, JPS severed ties with ThyssenKrupp in March. Stratford, meanwhile, is now at a long-term care facility. Branson says she has permanent brain damage and will need attendant care the rest of her life.
This is just a terrible tragedy at a public county hospital that should never have occurred.
We reached out to ThyssenKrupp for comment this afternoon. A spokesman told us at the time that they were still reviewing the report, didn't have anything to say at the moment. As for this investigation, it now moves into the enforcement phase where officials could decide if they will issue any penalties.